Hello, my name is Ruth Hargrove. I'm an attorney in San Diego. I'm a former prosecutor and city attorney and law professor. I had never tried an asylum case till I met my first asylum client, David, in Otay Mesa prison. And when he won his asylum case the day after Christmas 2019, he handed me a note from his cellmate Winston, and the note begged for help. Winston had lost his asylum bid, his family had run out of money, and his lawyer was no longer taking his telephone calls from prison. He was a 40-year-old teacher who had been abducted and tortured by the Cameroonian military for leading peaceful protests against the dictatorship. So I went to visit him in January 2020, and when I first met him, he'd been languishing in Otay Mesa prison for almost a year. He had never met his then 25-month-old son, Amare, who had been born to Amani, Winston's wife, who had fled Cameroon for the United States while she was pregnant. And when Amare was born in Maryland, Winston was still trapped in Cameroon. We met in the grim, windowless, wanly lit box where lawyers meet their clients at the prison, and Winston reacted when I walked in the room as a drowning man would react when you threw him a buoy. He had no idea how little I knew. I had tried one pro bono asylum case under the mentorship of Jewish Family Service of San Diego, and I was only slightly above the bottom of the learning curve. But still, I could be a human being, and I could make the 1-hour drive to Otay Mesa prison and be a person who cared about Winston. And he was the one who always cheered me up. He has an unshakable faith in God, and he promised me always that things would be all right, even when I had no idea how to make them so. In one uncharacteristic display of despair, he told me he would rather return to Cameroon to die than to face another day or another night in prison. I reached out to several pro bono agencies, and a San Diego agency agreed to represent him when he vanished from Otay Mesa, and I tracked him down at a private prison in Houston, and he was no longer eligible for services from this agency in San Diego. I was able to locate a renowned immigration lawyer in San Diego, and he was willing to cut his fee to take Winston's case, and a GoFundMe raised the money for that in a weekend. In Winston's fight for parole, Immigration Justice Project came to the rescue. I had contacted Ambreen Walji at the Immigration Justice Project, which still sounds to me like a band of superheroes in capes. She connected me with Alana Greenstein at the Immigration Justice Campaign, where Alana is a senior technical assistance attorney, and Alana mentored me through the process as I struggled with Winston's parole petition. She sent me example briefs, and she sent me law, and she helped me navigate the madness of dealing with ICE. For 3 weeks, I was pretty sure that ICE was throwing everything I wrote them right into the shredder. But then in late April, I received a telephone call from Houston, from a DO, and he told me that Winston's parole had been granted on $5,000 bond. So I contacted bond agencies, and Races in Texas was willing to help, but they were going to have to tap into their budget, not just for the next month, but for the month after. They were just behind, and they were going to have to borrow against their June budget in April. And I thought a better way to go was to raise the money on GoFundMe and donate it to Races so they could post the bond and then get it back when Winston's case is over. So my community came to the rescue again, and they raised the money, and I got it to Races. Blake Vera from Races drove to Houston from San Antonio. He posted the bond, and he also got Races to donate a plane ticket to Maryland. So Winston got on a plane, and just a few days after we raised the bond, he was reunited with his wife, whom he hadn't seen in almost 3 years, and he met Amari, who was by then 28 months old. After the genocide, after the flight from genocide, after 429 days on the soil he thought would bring him freedom. So Winston thinks God sent me to him. I think he undervalues his own persistence. Still, I cannot deny the feeling of divinity in those moments of connection with loving warriors for justice. My friends at IJP and at the Immigration Justice Campaign heard my call, and they are the ones who threw me the buoy. They supported me with their wisdom and their experience and their compassion, and also with their laughter, which heals us and gives us the strength to keep healing the world one person at a time. So here's to laughter, here's to fighting, here's to justice, and here's to healing. Thank you.